What's your name?
Benjamin.
Benjamin?
Yep.
Cool, I'm David. Good to meet you.
That's my middle name.
Oh, okay.
I'm Benjamin David.
Cool, right on.
I'm Quaid, by the way.
Wade?
Quaid.
Quaid.
Yeah, like Dennis Quaid.
Yeah. How you spell that?
Quayd. So it's weird,
Yeah.
spelled weird too.
I got to see it in my head.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Quayd. How'd your parents come up with that?
Well, the story goes that they were going to name me after if I was a woman, they were going to name me after my grandmother and my mother. This was going to make me Mary Jane. And then one of my parents said, why don't you just name him Quaalude? And then they got Quaid.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep, so I'm named after a party drug.
That's funny. I prefer the Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Benjamin. Ben.
Jamin.
Cool. Benjamin.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, so typically the way we do this is we have you choose a belief or a conclusion, conscious assumption, something that you're convinced is true about our shared world. And I'll ask questions that help us kind of critically reflect on the quality of the reasons that support your confidence that it's true or accurate. We can do it a couple of different ways. You can do it to where you tell me what the belief is and I ask questions. We can do it where you don't tell me what the belief is. I have you write it down and I ask questions, and that helps me keep my bias out of the questioning part. We can do it that way. We can kind of have a meta conversation about what your criteria is for something to be true. I've got an experiment that I've been wanting to work on that has to do with the upcoming election. And the experiment is you don't tell me who you're planning on voting for.
Oh, I like this.
You don't tell me who your candidate is, and I ask questions that help us critically reflect on the reasons why you're choosing one over the other. So
what if they're not voting for anybody?
Oh, well, I'm definitely voting.
This is assuming that they are voting. And if let's say you were not planning on voting, I would maybe dig into the reasons why you're not voting and why those reasons are good enough reasons for you to not vote. So that's kind of how I would handle that one. So, do you understand the options that we have?
I do. I like the last one you were talking about, like because I'm pretty
politically motivated.
Politically motivated would be the right way to say that. Yeah.
Okay. Just keep in mind that this is the first time I've tried this particular way of doing this.
First time I've answered the question.
So this could crash and burn, or it could be enlightening.
Okay.
So again, try to keep who you're voting for hidden.
Yep.
So without revealing who you're voting for, are you can you explain the main reason that you're voting for one or the other?
Oh,
and
yeah.
We're assuming it's kind of a binary thing. I know that there's more than two candidates. So are we on the same page about that? Okay.
Yeah.
So without revealing who you're voting for, what's the main reason that causes you to choose one candidate over the other?
Well, let's start with I'm a United States Marine, served 2001, 2005. Actually went to 20 years ago today. I was sitting at Al Assad Air Base in Iraq. So I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom too. And that being who I am and that being a big part of who I am is 95% of the reason why I'm voting for who I'm voting for.
Okay. Thank you for your service. Um, that's I can't imagine what that would be like to be, in a place like that at that time.
It was
Um,
pretty hot.
yeah, yeah, hotter than Ohio, huh?
Hot temperature and hostile.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
hot.
for sure. Um, and and that's 95% of the reason why you're voting for your candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 95. Okay. Um, are you? Would it be safe to say that you're 90% confident that you're voting for the appropriate candidate that um, shares your values?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Um, let's say, and this might be hard to imagine, but let's say that you were not a Marine, that you never served in the military at all.
Mm-hmm.
How would that affect your confidence in who to vote for?
I would still be voting for the candidate that I'm voting for, even if I never joined the Marine Corps, just for my core values and uh, you know, if we're talking binary, I
Yeah.
think one side is definitely better for the people in general.
Okay. So you'd be 95% whether you were a Marine or not. So it sounds like,
No. I'd say I'd probably be a little more of like a 60-40 split, 65-35. But no, being a Marine, like I mean that's and doing what I've done, being going where I've gone, defending the Constitution the way I've done it,
uh-huh.
makes me that 95% sure.
Okay. So if I'm hearing correctly, if you were never in the service, you'd be 60%, and because of your service, that gets you from 60 to 95.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you had never been in the service, you'd be down to 60. But you would still vote for the same person.
Correct.
Okay. All right. You're at 95 now. What would get you to go up in your confidence that you're voting for the correct candidate? From 95, what
No,
would
I'm
get you?
100% certain I'm voting for the right candidate, but being a Marine like really gives me that bump from like the 60-40 split to 95% sure, but no, I guess I'm kind of it's a little confusing how I'm wording it. A big part of me is being a Marine and like I said, defending the Constitution and understanding the Constitution as it's written. Um, but No, I'm 100% confident in who I'm voting for this election.
Okay.
Um,
You're 100 now because of your service. That gets you up to 95. So there's like a 5% of other stuff.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Uh, could you be more confident than 100? Like, is there anything that you could learn that would cause your confidence to go? I know it's kind of a weird question to ask.
Yeah. No, I've always been that guy that says like when people say give it 110%. I'm a math guy. You can't give 100%, 110%. Like you only have what you have.
Okay.
Um,
So there's nothing that would cause you to be even more confident.
no.
Okay. So tomorrow, if you say heard on on a reputable news source that is satisfactory to you, uh, there's nothing that you could hear that would cause you to be even more confident about who to vote for.
Every time I think the other side lowers the bar, they lower it. They go to the basement with it, man. Like. No, there's nothing that could really sway me at this point. Like,
Okay.
and
There's nothing that would.
that would shake that confidence I have in you know the candidate that I will be voting for.
Okay. So you're 100% no matter what other information you get.
I mean, that's tough to say though, because I mean there is still what 45, 46, 47 days or whatever until the election. I mean, I don't know, like 99.99 repeating.
Okay. Okay.
It'd have to be, something 1 in a million, like it's not happening.
You're open to hearing information that could cause you to
Oh
shift.
yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds
yeah, absolutely. I would say, please bring it to me. If there's anything, like, please.
okay.
But,
Because it sounded like earlier you said that there was nothing that would cause you to sway.
well, I'm being realistic. Like 99.99 is not 100%, but, that gives 1 in 10,000 chances of, but 1 in 99.99 repeating, it's 1 in trillions, whatever. I mean, it's essentially 100%, like, if something absolutely out of this world crazy was revealed, and it's like, coming from a reputable source, I might be like, I'm going to listen to it and be like, damn, maybe that's, you know breaking, that could, but that's not going to happen.
Okay.
But I'd be open to the 1 in a quadrillion chance of it happening or whatever.
Okay. Cool. You have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
So,
Thanks for
well,
participating.
I do have one question.
Okay.
Who am I voting for?
I don't know. And you're free to reveal that if you want to. You don't have to. The 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 idea of this process is to not focus on the claim itself or on the candidate themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but the reasons and the quality of the reasons that are supporting
Mm-hmm.
who you're voting for.
Mm-hmm.
This exercise is more about a critical reflection on your reasoning process,
Mm-hmm.
and that way we don't get distracted by the topic.
Gotcha.
But if there's anything else that you want to say, you're free to say, or if you have any other questions.
I am really intrigued that this gets you to guess. I mean, if there's one of two options,
Uh-huh.
what's your guess?
You want me to guess?
Yes, I do.
Uh, hmm. I would guess.
And there is
So
a wrong answer.
if I get it wrong, how is that going to affect our very short, what I think
Oh,
is
no,
a
no, no, no.
is a pretty good relationship
No,
so
no, no,
far?
no. Absolutely, no, no. Hey, solid question. It won't affect it one iota, because I don't want to get into why I think that yet until you've answered.
Uh-huh.
But I will tell you after you answer.
Okay. And just to be clear, we're not here to try to persuade
Uh-huh.
people to vote either way.
Right.
But have a better grasp on why they're voting a certain way and why they think those reasons are good reasons to vote a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But I to just take a wild guess, I would say that you're voting for Trump.
You're wrong.
And I have my reasons.
You're wrong, but I'd like to hear it.
Okay. The main reason why I guess that is from my experience, the military.
The military support.
The military. I think it's a reasonable inference.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree with you.
To guess that.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought you might. But I'm like, man, I don't know. There's so many other clues you could have picked up on.
Tell me about it.
I mean, first and foremost,
because you said the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
How defending the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that from both sides.
Yeah. And you will. But you want to go straight to the Constitution? All right. So from here on out, now that you know who I'm voting for, I will refer to Traitor Trump as I've always referred to him as Traitor Trump. So now that the cat's out of the bag, he, God, the list goes on and on. Let's start with he basically surrendered to the Taliban, right, and released 5,000 Taliban prisoners of war, which one of which is now running Afghanistan. Another one of which is, was this suicide bomber that killed 13 service members, which leads to another thing. A lot of Republicans will say killed 13 Marines. I'm a Marine. So if you're going to use us as pawns, get it fucking right and say 11 Marines, 1 sailor, and 1 soldier, because that's who it was. So don't act like you care about the 13 service members' deaths if you don't even know who they are. So there's that. Donald
It's like
Trump,
a pandering kind
it's
of.
a pandering thing. Yeah, Donald Trump invited the Taliban to Camp David. Donald Trump called those who died in war losers and suckers. Why would they do that? And that's coming from General Kelly himself. Like, look at what General Mattis has said about him. That's we can go into look at the campaign stunt that he pulled in Arlington National Cemetery, and that's just abhorrent. He is just despicable, and he shits on the Constitution and the servicemen and women who defend the Constitution every chance he gets. So
Sounds like a lot of these kind of involve the military.
And then also after the debate, I'm from Springfield, Ohio. You ever heard of it?
Yeah.
When he said they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating your pets, he didn't stop right there. He went on to say one more sentence that everybody forgets about, where he said, we need to get these people out of here. He sent his cult, wherever they may be from, all corners of the world, to terrorize my hometown of Springfield, Ohio. I was in Iraq 20 years ago, writing home to my little sister, and she would write me back, worried that she was 15 years old in high school at the time, going to Springfield North, and she was worried that I was in harm's way, and I would do everything to tell her, like, oh, I'm safe, and I would lie to her, because I don't want my 15-year-old sister going to high school worried that her brother's going to, could die, although I'm in the back of a C-130 smelling dead Marines in their pine boxes. I get, that they're actually like an OSB. It's a plywood box. But I would be running from rocket attacks on a weekly basis. I was right next to toxic burn pits every day, just black smoke. I was living that, but I didn't want anyone to worry about me because it was mine to, it was mine. I don't need to spread that fear to my family members that have no way of, sheltering me or helping me in that situation. I just keep them in the clear on that subject. But now my sister is working at a juvenile detention center there in Springfield, and they've even had to be evacuated to bomb threats. The city hall evacuated bomb threats. Kroger's, Walmart's, the hospitals. The kids can't really go to school these days because of the bomb threats, and I can't protect my little sister from that. I can't pretend like everything's nice and cozy when it's not. That now they get to see what happens when a man with the power that Traitor Trump has, with the words he uses, and how that affects the people that I know and love, my friends and family that still live in Springfield. So I can't wait for November 5th.
Well, Benjamin, you sound very passionate. I admire your passion and you're wanting things to change. And I'm trying to keep these conversations pretty short. So if it's okay if I could maybe ask one more question.
Yeah.
Can you give me some feedback on this process that we went through? Like, can you give me any ideas on how to maybe make it better from your point of view? How, what do you think?
This is the second time I've seen you guys. I walked by here, I don't know,
Wednesday?
4, was it Wednesday?
It was
2 days ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I saw you guys doing this. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I hope I have time when walking by the next time if they have available seat. And I was ready to do this before you even asked.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
like what you're doing. Keep doing it. That's the only positive feedback I can really give. Just keep doing it. Like it's cool what you guys are doing on any subject.
Yeah.
Just out here underneath the shade tree, sitting, talking, and sharing ideas, and that's what this is all about at the university.
Cool.
So
Awesome. Well, thanks for that.
Cool.
Anything else you want to say before we end it?
no, I got to get to class anyways, man. Perfect
All right.
timing. Perfect timing.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
What was
you
it
too.
again? I'm sorry.
Benjamin.
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 Yeah. Thank you, Quade.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah. And good luck with school.
Thank you.
Is that a Ferrari?
Your major? What are you
Yeah.
majoring in?
Math.
Math. Nice.
Math education. I want to teach.
Oh, awesome.
I've taught before. I taught English in China for 2 years.
I'm an English teacher here.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
and I did some subbing down in San Antonio and even here at Fairmont.
Oh, nice.
I
Awesome.
love education.
Hope seeing you. Yeah, me too. I love
See
it.
you guys.
Yeah. See you around. Oh, you can scan that QR code if you want to see the YouTube channel that
Oh yeah.
that these go on to. It's over by the whiteboard.
Oh.
Yeah. Were you able to
Cool.
hear most of that?
Thank you guys.
Take care.
Yeah, the tail end, the
Okay.
first part. Yeah, I was running from booze. But
Gotcha.
what'd
I
you
was-
think about it?
I guessed wrong, but it's really not about guessing which one. I felt a little bit uncomfortable in that part, which is, I invite that, I guess.
It was a good guess. This is Ohio.
It's Ohio
Trump's up by 9 points.
military. His name is Benjamin,
Here.
which
Okay.
is, I would say, in a lot of cases, like biblical.
Oh, okay.
And so there could be like a religious influence, which, let's face it, a reasonable inference.
Yeah.
With religious folks, they tend to vote Republican. So, yeah, it was. that was fun. That was great. Anything that you would have done differently?
Well, I didn't hear it all, so that's the issue.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure you asked all the questions, because I did not hear if there was any, ultimately an explanation before he revealed. Was it one of those things where he didn't want to talk about it until you knew who he was voting for?
No, that was kind of the exercise that I explained, that it was like an experiment that I wanted to do where you don't tell me who you're voting for,
Yeah.
and I just explore the reasoning that informs your decision. And one question that I didn't ask that I should have is, why is being in the military a good reason?
Yeah.
To support a particular candidate?
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah,
I'll have to
ultimately,
try
I
to
think-
remember to ask that one again.
I think ultimately he answered it at the end there, with him saying that he felt like Trump was disrespecting service members.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear him answering anything like that before. I didn't hear a
thorough explanations of his reasons before he revealed his secret. So I wonder if there's questions that could have been asked to get him to say it without saying it too. That's a difficult one, because I feel like, when he said the U.S. Constitution, I did think, oh, maybe he's supporting Harris. But you are right in that both sides will say it.
Yeah.
So I started to suspect that maybe he was not voting for Trump. But I will still, hear both sides say that. But yeah. So I think just a way, questions you can ask that won't get them to reveal the thing, but get them to explain as much as possible, as many possible points as you can get. So I guess the U.S. being a Marine was one. I would have been interested in some other potential ones.
And that was 95% of the pie.
Oh, okay. But he would have
Being
been
a Marine.
60% otherwise.
60% otherwise. Yeah, if you were not in the service, he'd still vote for Harris, but only up to a 60%.
Gotcha. But yeah, overall, I think it was good. I think I'm actually want to try it. I'm gonna try it before you leave. Yeah.
Okay.
On politics, especially after, he brought up Springfield, because a lot of us, we're really divided about Springfield right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people. I'm interested. I'm interested to see when the polls come out again for Ohio, because I don't imagine they're not going to change. It's either going to increase or decrease, pretty drastically. I would put money on it.
One thing that did happen was that at first he said he was 100% and there's nothing that would cause him to sway.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he changed it to 99.99 repeating. And so that's, I feel, a shift, even if it's a small shift, going from 100 to 99.
Yeah.
And it sounded like, because he said, well, now I'm being a little bit more realistic. Like there are things that I could learn that could cause me to, it'd have to be pretty drastic, like he said.
Yeah.
But at least there's that, okay, I'm not 100.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like you were saying, that being a big shift from that, even more so than 99 to 90.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.